All right, so I mentioned in a previous video that we are going to also give you another set of variables just on the 1, the 2, and the 8. So again, in case you haven't watched those other videos, it's an angle 1, an angle 2, and an angle 8. We call it sumbrada. This specifically would be what we call small box sumbrada. It's also known as top of the box sumbrada. So what we're going to go for here is another set of deflections. And the first set that we're going to do, you've already done. So you've done the inside deflection and a check, right? But and you've also done the outside deflection and a check. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do what we call cover and hits, okay? So the angle 1's coming at me. I'm using an outside deflection, but I either thrust this shot in there, or I tap this shot in there, or I tap that shot in there. We are covering and hitting at the same time, okay? So I cover the angle 1 and I hit at the same time. I cover the angle 2 and I hit at the same time. So I'm either smacking this down and tapping here, smacking the stick, smacking the hand, smacking the stick, smacking the head, smacking the stick, poking, right? I'm deflecting and hitting at the same time. And on the angle 8, I'm going to cover and hit again. So this is either going to be cover and hit here or cover and hit here. This is where we start to get on a little bit more of the actual application of the roof block. If the angle 8 is coming at me, the roof block technically is going to be, I really like the way Guru Rick mentions this, by the way. The roof block is the cut kick of collet. For those of you guys who are in Thai boxing class, you understand what a cut kick is. As my kick's coming in, you're kicking my plant leg. So as this strike is coming down at your head, my roof block isn't targeting that strike. It's targeting your hand, and I'm trying to cut through it. So I'm covering and I'm hitting. If you want to stay out at range, especially if you have a partner who doesn't want their hand hit, then we'll play it like this, and you make a roof block and you hit at the same time, or you make a roof block and you hit at the same time, or you make a roof block and you hit at the same time. But really, this is a good time for me to mention the cover and hit is your actual roof block, where you're blasting that hand on both sides there. So we have the cover and hit options. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go back to our formula here. So the angle 1, the angle 2, and the angle 8. So in a 3-to-3 ratio, I'm going to feed all 3, which is 1, which is 2, and which is 8. This is going to go, I cover and hit the 1, I cover and hit the 2, and I either roof block, completely just blowing that thing away, or if I want to play it nicer, I roof block and tap, roof block and tap, roof block and tap, whatever the option is. So again, I cover and I hit. Sorry, cover and hit, cover and hit, and cover and hit, cover and hit. Keep doing inside deflection. Cover and hit, and cover and hit. Okay? So if I'm feeding all 3, you're going to cover and hit, and cover and hit, cover and hit, cover and hit, and cover and hit, cover and hit, cover and hit, cover and hit. Okay, so with our cover and hits, now we're going to do our 1-to-1 ratio. So I am going to feed first. So I feed the 1, cover and hit. Okay? You are now feeding a 2. I cover and hit. I feed the angle 8. You cover and hit. You feed the angle 1. I cover and hit. I feed the 2. You cover and hit. You feed the 8. Cover and hit. 1, 2, and 8, and 1, 2, and 8, 1, 2, and 8, and 1, 2, and 8. I screwed that feed up. So the idea of this is very simple, guys, even though I just screwed it up and I'm skipping ahead. The idea of this is you cover and hit their shot, you feed them back, they cover and hit your shot. They feed you back, you cover and hit it. I now feed them, you cover and hit. You feed me, I cover and hit, and I feed you, so then you will cover and hit. So one last time, we're going to do this with the camera being my partner. So the camera feeds me the angle 1, I cover and hit. I feed the camera the angle 2, this is when you do a cover and hit. And then the camera feeds me the angle 8, and I roof block. As I roof block, I hit. So it's my cover and my hit. Now I feed the camera the angle 1, this is your cover and hit. You feed me the angle 2, this is my cover and hit. And then I feed you the angle 8, and this is your cover and hit. So I hope you had a chance to play with all of these variables. We're going to continue with our sumbrada series in our next couple of videos. So have fun interjecting these into your combinations of your sumbrada patterns. Again, remember, just like I mentioned in our other video, you can substitute any of the angle 1 options that I've given you so far, being the high wing, the cover and hit, or the inside deflection, with anything at any point in time. You just bring it in as flow, as range dictates. So thank you.